Hey guys, what's going on? This is Bikini Gamer here. I just want to welcome you to my channel where I will be posting gaming content, feedback, and anything that pretty much pops into my head. This video, I will be bringing you a girl's perspective on Destiny as my first gaming experience. At first I never got into gaming because everyone I knew that liked it was so obsessed with it, but at the same time I didn't have anyone to teach me. My older brother has always been into gaming, and perhaps I felt it was more like a guy's thing. Plus, my parents never got me an Xbox or PlayStation. It was something they would get from my brothers, but not me. Destiny is my first experience at a console game, and so far has been a positive one. The biggest shocker has been how friendly people are online. Even though I'm a novice, people go out of their way to help me. The community has shown me nothing but peace and love. I can't count how many times I've been facing an enemy and struggling, and some random player will come and give me a hand. I've been revived countless times, and many of my successes come from teamwork. I find myself randomly dancing with other players everywhere, and it always puts a smile on my face. In a girl's world, we have a few things we do to relieve our stress. 90% of the time, that means getting pampered or going shopping. I never realized that gaming could be one of those options. I would definitely recommend gaming to girls that want to try something new, or perhaps finally understand why your boyfriend spends so much time on his console. It can be somewhat intimidating and dizzying at first, since you won't know how to use the controllers. I can remember when I first started the game, not knowing where to go, looking up at the sky all the time, running into walls, and falling out of the map. However, after a bit of practice, I found that Destiny will help me correct those mistakes, with instructions on how to jump, shoot, and pretty much do any move I want. If you have a friend that can help you or give you tips and tricks, that is your best option. Also, I highly recommend watching some gameplay videos, or you can find other resources online. It will drastically improve your gameplay. At the beginning, it was more about learning how to play the game, not knowing what the storyline was. Soon, I learned that there was actually a story to all this madness. Starting with my character, I chose the Titan, and had to learn all the different specialties of this character. The way it jumped, the Storm Fist melee, and learning how to land the super, which took me one too many tries. One of the bad sides of being a Titan is that I can't teleport or blink. I just feel that it's kinda sucky compared to how fast other players move on the game. Another negative would be the baby weak punch my character had. One of the plus sides of my character is the super and the shoulder charge. Nothing is more satisfying than tackling the crap out of an enemy. At first I thought gaming was too time consuming, and that's always kept me away from it. But with Destiny, this has not been the case at all. I find myself hopping out of the shower, turning on the Xbox, loading up a game of Vanguard mission or Crucible match, knocking out some bounties, and moving on to my day. You can really put at most 30 minutes to an hour of gameplay, enjoy yourself, and not feel like other players are getting it miles ahead of you, just because you don't have the time to play all day. An interesting thing about Destiny is the way you level up. At first, it's all about gaining experience. Literally, it just means to play as much as you can so you can level up and unlock your character's abilities. I found this pretty easy because I did most of this work by completing the story. At first, the game is pretty much a solo game. At the beginning, you find yourself with no guns, no abilities, clawing your way through Earth. But after completing Earth and unlocking the moon, it's when the game starts coming into its own. Even though the enemies get stronger, you do as well by unlocking weapons and using your character abilities to strategically defeat boss level enemies. I found myself having to learn the advantages and disadvantages of using arc, void, and solar weapons against enemies with shields. At first I didn't know about the shields when I started the game, and it made it a lot more difficult to defeat enemies with shields. It would just take way too long to get rid of them if I was not using the correct weapon, but once I did, taking out solar wizards and void minotaurs became incredibly efficient. When you finish the story, you find yourself around level 15, and you can play a couple of missions and some crucible matches to get yourself to the maximum experience level of 20. This is when the game gets interesting, because at this point, it becomes all about the loot, which means the better armor you get, the higher your light level gets. Experience does not matter anymore. At this point, it's all about the quest to find better armor and weapons. Weapons and armor are organized in classes, known as common and uncommon, rare, legendary, and exotic. The goal of the game is to collect the highest level armor and weapons, and legendary and exotic classes. Overall, I love the game. I find myself playing more often than not. Be on the lookout for my next video, and feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below. I will try to post videos at least once a week and answer any questions you guys might have. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, game on. Ciao!